What is up and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a tiered ranking list of all my favorite hoop slash volleyball shoes with a big range in years starting from 2011 all the way to current day. So this will be very interesting. Never done this before. I have a general idea of how this is going to play out, but I don't have the list pre-formulated. But to go over the tiers, we have S tier, which is the double up tier. So these are like my favorite shoes. A, which is in the rotation. So also shoes I really like, but maybe not cream of the crop. B, which is cop. So I would buy it, but there are some other shoes I would get before it. And then there's the C tier, which is just sit. Like I would not get these shoes. Some other things I want to point out. Yes, my collection is very Nike and Jordan heavy. I like Nikes, I like Jordans. My brother also worked at Nike for a handful of years, so 40% discount is pretty enticing. So there's that. Some of the shoes I don't currently have either because I sold them, they're not mine, or I threw them away or gave them away. But these are still, I don't even know how many pairs this are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 23 pairs I have here physically. The list is more than that. Obviously I don't wear all of these shoes, but for those of you who have like played league with me or tournaments or whatnot, you know that I always bring multiple pairs of shoes. Usually at least 2 pairs, and then I'll have like a couple pairs in the car just in case. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so this first pair I don't have with me, but we are looking at the James Harden Volume 1. My brother got me these for my birthday. I didn't really like them. I ended up selling them recently, so the fit just wasn't that great for me. I had a lot of heel slip, and the traction pattern wasn't that great for me either. And the fit wasn't that great for me either. So there were a lot of things I did not like about the shoes, so I did not wear them that much. So this is an easy ranking for me to put in the C/sit column, which is kind of strange because at that time, a lot of people really liked the Volume 1s, especially when they came out with the, I think it was Prime Knit upper. But for me, since the fit was bad and the traction was bad, I just never wore them. All right, moving on to the next shoe. We have the Dame Volume 2s. So I still have this pair here. I have not worn them in a while, to be honest. But the main thing in this is the bounce cushioning, which is kind of Adidas budget cushion system, which is not as plush or bouncy as Boost. But when this dropped, I did really like this shoe. I wore it a decent amount, mostly actually for basketball. Didn't wear it for volleyball too much. Bounces more on the responsive side, so more court feel. So I know I don't like this as much as far as impact protection, but other than that, it's a solid sneaker. So I'm gonna put that in the cop section for now. Again, these rankings are probably gonna change as I start throwing more shoes into these tiers, so we'll see. All right, up next we have the Why Not 0.1, which is Westbrook's first signature model. The best part about this shoe is probably the cushioning because it has full-length Zoom Air, but I didn't really enjoy the fit with the shroud upper. You really had to jam your foot into the shoe, and it was hard to modify the lacing for me, so I didn't like this shoe as much as I thought I would because my brother loved this shoe. I know he has multiple pairs, but for me, I don't actually like them that much, so I don't find myself wearing them all too much. So for now, I think this is a sit for me. Going back to Nike, so we have the PG1. I got this as a gift. So this is his first signature model. Kind of similar silhouette to Kobe. He wore a lot of Kobe's before he got a signature shoe. The main tech here is we have Zoom Air in the forefoot. Not that big of a bag, but decent enough. The traction pattern are like these little lines and nubs. Honestly, I really like this shoe. The fit was great. This strap I didn't really use too much. Not sure if that really helped all too much as far as fit or lockdown, but it's kind of like a booty upper here, but fit 1-to-1, very snug. Traction is solid. More on the court feel responsive side, but the Zoom Air in the forefit did its job. So I actually wear this shoe every now and then. So I'm gonna put this in the cop section. All right, up next, we have the PG2. So I got this on a trip to Portland. I got to go to the employee store One of my brothers still worked at Nike, so he's able to get myself and my friends in. And this was the shoe I copped at that time. Translucent outsole. Again, zoom in the forefoot. And I didn't actually like this shoe as much as his first signature model. I felt that was a little bit bulkier, less streamlined, but still very solid performer. Traction is amazing on this, in my opinion. Probably one of the better traction setups that I've experienced. So if you like court feel, if you like good traction, you might like this shoe. But I personally prefer the PG1s over the PG2s. So for now, I think I'm gonna put this in the sit section. So, dang, tough critic, huh? All right, up next, we have the Curry line. So we have the Curry 1 with Under Armour. So this was Curry's first signature model. Anafoam on the upper, and then we have charged foam in the midsole for cushioning, and then herringbone for the traction pattern with this translucent outsole. This is the Friends and Family colorway. I thought the fit was pretty good. Cushioning, not that great in my opinion. Charged cushioning is on the stiffer side, so I didn't really like the cushioning. And maybe it's because I have the translucent outsole, but I wore this last year in my league and I was slipping everywhere. Did not like the cushions, so I haven't worn them since. So I'm sorry, Curry, but these are gonna go in the sit section. So if you don't know already, I don't like as much court feel, especially when I'm playing front row, when I'm playing volleyball. So that is kind of my bias behind these picks. All right, up next, we have the Curry 2s. As you can see, I don't have the Curry 2s with me anymore. I ended up giving these away in a bulk buying box to the Philippines when my dad went a few months ago. So hopefully someone in the Philippines is enjoying this pair and is balling out, because they were actually in pretty good condition. I just never found myself going towards them because, similar to the Curry 1s, didn't really like the cushion setup with charged cushioning. And other than traction, that's kind of all that shoe has going for it, in my opinion. It looks pretty cool, but again, I didn't really like playing in them. So, wow, another sit. All right, so Curry as a player doesn't really jump all that much. So I feel like impact protection isn't as important to him, whereas court feel and traction are very high on his list. So similar to Kyrie, where they would rather sacrifice cushioning for better court feel, better traction. So that's kind of the feel that I get from the shoes that I've tried in the Curry line. So up next, we have the Curry Floetro 4. Again, not that much impact protection. The traction, amazing. The fit is okay, and support and durability for the shoe, I don't see doing that well. I only wore these a few times and there was a lot of fraying from the foam and also the suede upper. So I didn't really like this shoe. So again, I'm going sit back to Nike and we are looking at the KD line. So I don't have the KD 9. I also sent those back in the bulk buying box, but this is the first KD I ever tried and I really liked it. The full length Zoom Air. And the fit is kind of weird, but the flighted upper made it a little bit more forgiving, so you can tighten it a little bit more. But I really like this shoe. I played a lot of basketball in these in college, so I will safely put these in the cop section. I didn't get the KD 12s, which I wish I did, but I did get the KD 13s, which I have here. So I got these mainly when I moved back, and I got them at the Nike clearance store for probably around $60 or $70. This is like an XDR model, so the outsole is a little bit more durable for outdoor use. Also full length Zoom Air, so cushioning is great, but I did not like the traction because my heel would always give out. So whenever I'm planting hard on my right foot, my heel would slip, the traction, not my heel in the shoe, but the traction would slip. So then it would just make my jump feel all weird. So I thought I would like these a lot more than I did. Cushioning is great. I didn't really like the traction. And the KD 13 for me, like for as far as the tongue, it was one of those shoes where the tongue kind of slowly drifts to the side of your foot, for me, the lateral side, over time. And I always had to readjust it to make it more center. So I also didn't like that. So I'm gonna put these in the sit column. So far we have nothing in S or A, and then we have a few in the cop. So we have the KD 14. So Shout out Renzo for finding these for me at the Nike clearance store or Nike factory store. I've been looking for these since like November or December of last year. Could not find them in my size until my friend found them for me and said, yo, they're going for like 90 bucks. Do you want them? And I was like, yes, please. So, wow. These are so nice. Like the cushion is very bouncy, super plush, fit very snug one-to-one. I could do without the strap, but I really like this shoe, and it's going to be the first shoe that's not copper sit, and I'm actually gonna put it in the double up territory because I like that shoe that much, and it's kind of hard to find pairs. My friend recently also really likes them and said he bought them on StockX because he couldn't find them. So I'm so happy I have a pair now because that shoe is like top tier. The last shoe in the KD line, so technically the latest signature model still. I know he debuted them in the playoffs recently, but we have the KD 15. So most of you probably already know there's a lot of sizing issues with this, mainly heel slip. So you might want to go half a size down, and a very, very, very bad break-in period, which hurt my feet a lot. But after that, these shoes are pretty solid. You still have a little bit of a fit issue, but cushioning is great and the traction is great. So this is a very solid performer if you can find the right fit and if you can get over the break-in period. So I'm going to put this in the rotation, A tier. Next, we have the LeBron 20s. So I have these in the time machine. I got lucky and hit on the first colorway drop. I've been liking this shoe a lot more lately. I think I've been having a better time now that I've broken it in a little bit. I know I was talking to my brother, he's like saying that he feels like he sits too high off the ground and the cushioning is all weird, but I feel like if you give it more time, the upper will slowly break in and the cushioning will break in and the traction is amazing. So I've been really liking the LeBron 20s, my first and only LeBron so far. I am considering putting it in the double up territory because I really like it, and if I find the right deal, I might double up. Currently it's in the rotation. I think I might put it up. I think I might put it up here. I actually really like, yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. I think it's safe to put in the double up territory. This is a shoe that I like wearing, and you know, there's zoom in the forefoot. The fit is very snug, and I think it checks all the boxes. Pretty light, low cut, traction is great. Yeah, this is S tier right here. We have the Player One from Serious Player Only. A lot of buzz lately in the sneaker community because they're a new brand, very similar to Kobe. So I do have two pairs of these. This is in the first colorway, yellow and black, and then I also have the sea salt colorway. They're making a lot of improvements. So before they came out with the new support midsole, I would probably put this in the cop territory. But now, after the support midsole, this has made the rotation. So if you haven't seen that performance review, I'll leave that linked. So next on the list, we're moving on to Li Ning. So this is the Wow 10. I got these in the Valentine Day colorway. Low, kind of steep, right? $199. But I've had about maybe like 8 hours of wearing these, both playing basketball and playing volleyball. So a lot of good things. It's very lightweight. The fit is solid. I went true to size, very snug. The heel is a little bit more soft than it is in the forefoot. So I wish that was kind of flipped where there was a little bit more bounce and cushioning in the forefoot versus the heel. But the traction is also very solid and very squeaky. So I don't think I would put this in the double up, but for now it is in the rotation. So I'm gonna be playing those later this week in my volleyball league. So hopefully I'll get a better feel, and then that performance review will probably be coming out next. Staying with Li Ning, we have the All City 10s. Yeah, if you watch my review, I didn't like these as much. I think if you're gonna use them for outdoor, they're solid, and I really enjoyed boom cushioning, a lot of impact protection and bounciness there, but the traction indoors just was not it for me. I was slipping a lot, so if I can't rely on the traction, then I'm not gonna wear the shoe. I also don't have the shoe with me because I was borrowing those from my brothers, but for me, this is gonna go in the sit territory. This is kind of a dark horse. Many of you probably do not know about this shoe, but this is from Jordan Brand, and it is the Jordan M11. So Carmelo Anthony's 11th signature sneaker. I actually do have 2 pairs of these, and this shoe has very similar tooling to the Jordan 29, which is also on this list, but there's unlocked zoom in the forefoot, so very bouncy in the forefoot. Traction, solid. Fit, solid. I don't know if they dropped the low top for this shoe, but I have these in a high/mid top, and then I also have them in like a silver colorway, but this shoe is really nice. Like, I love this shoe. There's also a lot of sentimental value because that is a shoe I was wearing when I first touched the rim. But performance-wise, these are one of my favorite shoes. So I think for me, I've actually double upped, and I will put them in the double up tier, S tier. We have Jordan Brand. So now we're moving on to the Jordan line. I'm not going to include any of like anything before the 29s because I didn't play basketball on them. So starting with the Jordan 29, I have them in this colorway, in this mid, so mostly white and baby blue, translucent outsole. Again, unlocked zoom in the forefoot. This is now an outdoor sneaker for me. The shoe was making a lot of waves when it first came out. A lot of cool colorways. The upper was very soft, and the zoom bag in the forefoot felt really good. The traction also very solid. I don't know if it'd make the rotation anymore if I'm looking at the other shoes. So I think I'm gonna put this in the cop section. But a lot of people still really like this shoe. And it is a solid performer. Moving on to the Jordan 31. Where is this? Okay, so I got this from my brother in the Space Jam colorway. I didn't really like these as much for indoor usage, mainly because the traction just wasn't reliable for me, so I was slipping a lot. Other than that, the cushioning is great, full length Zoom Air. The upper is very soft and pliable, and the lockdown fit, support, all that, solid. So the only thing I did not like is traction. So if you don't have traction or if you don't have fit, I'm not really gonna like the shoe. So I'm gonna put this in the, I don't think so. I think the 29s are better. So I think I'm gonna put this in the sit. They're currently my outdoor shoe, so traction doesn't matter as much for me because most shoes are decent outside for traction. So that's where those are gonna sit. All right, next we have the Jordan 34. So I bought these off my brother. So these came out kind of like at a weird time where I wasn't really playing as much because it was like the middle of the pandemic. And I was like, I'm not gonna buy any shoes. And then these shoes came out and I slept, and I kind of wish I didn't, but I do have a pair in the infrared colorway. The traction is great. The cushioning, I'm pretty sure this has full length. Does this have full length Zoom Air? No, it doesn't because there's this here. This has zoom in the forefoot and in the heel, and heel to toe transition, traction, fit, everything I love. And this, I think, is this in the rotation or is this S tier? I think it's gonna be in the rotation. I'll put it in the rotation. Do I like these shoes better? Oh, I might like this better than the LeBron 20s though. We'll see, we'll see. But for now, they are in the rotation. All right, moving on. Jordan 35s. I had the 35s before I had the 34s. I don't have them with me anymore because I actually sold these. I had these shoes before I had the 34s. So this is kind of like still mid-pandemic, but starting to play a little bit more indoor. And I was like, you know what? I missed out on the 34s. I'm gonna get the 35s. And these were bricks. Like, hurt my feet so much, did not break in, not bouncy. Traction was okay, fit was okay. A lot of okay and pain, so easily in the sit column. I actually ended up selling these, so I don't even have them anymore. On to the Jordan 36. So where are these shoes? All right, here they are, Jordan 36. I do have a performance review on this if you wanted to watch that, but long story short, I love these shoes. We have full length Zoom Strobel and double stacked in the forefoot Zoom, so super bouncy, very lightweight. Traction is pretty solid in my opinion. This is a translucent, semi-translucent outsole, so it could be even better if this was solid rubber in my opinion, but very light, all the things I'm looking for. Some people feel a little bit unstable, and I think they could have improved it by adding a outrigger on the lateral portion of the forefoot area, but you know what, for what it is, I still really like this shoe. You feel really fast, lightweight, agile when I wear this shoe, and the leno weave, super light and breathable. So this is definitely an S tier for me. I really like the Jordan 36. All right, now we have the Kobe line. All right, I'm going to go in order here. So we'll start with the Kobe 4. All right, so Kobe 4, solid performer, kind of one of the more influential shoes and as far as basketball shoes. This is when Kobe decided to go low cut, and traction was great. I didn't get too much wear in the shoe, to be honest, and I can't wear them too much anymore because there's a lot of glue separation. But when I did play in them, I really enjoyed them. Nothing stood out too much for me with the Kobe 4, but I think it's also because I didn't play in them too much. But from my memory, solid, so I would put them in the cop section. So I had the Kobe 5s my junior year, and I had them in the draft day colorway, which I got from the Nike clearance store in a size 10, so they were a half size too big, but I wore those to the ground. I wore them all like club volleyball season, and man, these shoes are sick. So I got these are the Protros of January 2020. These actually sat, so a lot of people weren't really going for them, which I was kind of surprised, but I'm happy I did because now they're really hard to get. But fit is one of my favorite parts about the shoe, as well as the traction. So I feel like it's not as durable because there's a lot of ripping here that tends to happen for people, and that happened in my first pair. But other than that, super lightweight, super snug fit, and yeah, solid performer. So for me, I'm putting these in the rotation. Next, we have the Kobe 6. So this is my original pair that I had in high school, also my junior year, but I had these during my high school season, and I also wore these to the ground. But man, like a lot of people, these are one of my favorite shoes, if not my favorite shoe of all time. And you can see I have a second pair here, and yes, these are reps. I think I bought a bad batch, so I should have did more research when I was looking into reps. I'm considering getting some Kickhu reps of the Kobe 6, probably not in the Grinches because I want a solid rubber outsole, but is it worth it? Do you think it's worth it? Like around 130, 140 price range, would you get reps of the Kobe 6s? As long as like, I'm going for performance. Like if they are solid performers, then I'm kind of down to try it again, but let me know. Anyway, really like this shoe. If I could get a pair for retail, I would get them. I'm going to try at the end of the year when they go for the reverse Grinches, but I'm probably not going to get them. But I think it's an easy S tier for me. I think Kickstats released their stats lately, and this is the #1 worn shoe in the NBA as far as minutes played, except none of us can get them. So we have the Kobe 7. I wore these my senior year when I was setting, and to be honest, I didn't like them that much because they hurt my feet a lot. It felt like I always had to break them in. I did ID them, so they look super sick. They're like white with a icy blue outsole and a black swoosh. But yeah, these hurt my feet. I wore them to the ground though, and I ended up throwing them away because they became my outdoor shoe and they were just very beat up. So as much as I like the shoe aesthetically and I got to ID them, I think the Kobe 7s are a sit. Okay. Moving on, the Kobe 8s. So I recently got to try these. Oh, they're not out here. Did I give them back to my brother? No, I didn't, but they're over there. Wow, these shoes are actually kind of nice. Super lightweight, probably one of the lightest shoes I've ever worn other than the Player 1. And they fit really well. Traction was also very solid, was not slipping at all. And wow, it's hard for me to put these in the rotation because I don't own them. Unless I could convince my brother or if I can buy them off of him. But looking at these other shoes, I think I'm gonna put them in the rotation. I actually really like these. I put them over, yep, yeah, I would wear them over all of these. Yep, okay, all right, this list is rounding out. So next we have the Kobe 9. So I ID'd these back in 2014. This is the first shoe that I bought with my own money from my internship I had that summer. And I was like, I'm gonna ID some Kobe 9s, so that's what I did. Probably one of the greatest tractions of all time. Lunar Lawn bottoms out, so drop-in midsole is an issue, but you can kind of solve that now by getting some serious player only support midsoles and tossing them in here. So I might just do that to revive this pair, and I'll probably wear them a lot more, but this shoe is solid. Like, other than the Lunar Lawn bottoming out, I really like the shoe. So cushion is definitely not its strong point. I think I'll put them, it's not in the rotation, definitely not in the rotation, but I will put them in the cop. Last two shoes, we have the Kobe 11, which is right here. All right, so to be honest, I really love the fit of this shoe. Cushioning is okay. A little bit better than the Kobe 9, didn't bottom out as much, but the traction for me just was not reliable, so I don't wear them that much. And for that reason, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna put the 11s in the sit column. Yeah, I would not buy another pair. And the last pair, I don't have this because these are my brother's, but he let me wear them for like a month. So the GT Cuts, which is also very popular in the NBA. I really liked it as well. Traction was not that great for me, but he did have a translucent outsole, so maybe that's why. But the cushion felt really good. We have full-length React, full-length Zoom Air. So fit, also very good. Definitely reminds me of a Kobe. Am I putting this in the rotation or am I putting this as an S tier? I think I'm putting this S tier. And I think that's the list. Let's review. Anything I want to move around. All the Currys are in the sits. Yikes. We have two Kobes in the sit. We have two Jordans in the sit. We have a Westbrook, a PG, Harden, All City 10, KD 13, all sits. I think I'm fine with that. In the cop, we have the Dame 2, PG 1, KD 9, Jordan 29, Kobe 4, and the Kobe 9. I think I'm okay with that. In the A tier, in the rotation, we have the KD 15, the Player 1, the WoW 10, the Jordan 34, the Kobe 5, and the Kobe 8. And in the S tier, we have the KD 14, the LeBron 20, the Jordan M11, the Jordan 36, the Kobe 6, and the GT Cuts. Wow, I'm actually pretty happy with this list. Let me know, did I miss anything? Would you have one shoe in the S tier that I missed? Do you think one of these shoes in the S tiers doesn't belong there? Should I have copped a shoe that I sat? Should one of my cop shoes be in the rotation? A lot of things I could have gotten wrong or right, but this is really fun to do. I do have too many shoes. Of course, all these S tier shoes are also in the rotation, but who knows? These shoes, depending on my play style, what I like, I feel like I'm probably gonna want more impact protection as I get older, but we'll see. Hopefully you liked this video. Hopefully it was somewhat helpful, somewhat entertaining. All right, I think that's gonna do it. Shout out to the person who commented requesting for this video. I've always thought about maybe doing it, but you know what? Might as well do it now. This is like one of the few times where I have a lot of the latest signature shoes. So WoW 10, the Player 1, the Jordan 20, the KD 15 at the same time. I don't know if I can keep that up because it's kind of pricey. But you know, maybe the YouTube will pop off and we'll see how it goes. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.